And welcome to the Universal Joy Center. I'm Barbara Jean, and let us begin in consciousness the way we begin all great things. As I take a breath, I relax my mind. I center my awareness in the here and now, and I know that tonight is a gift. There is a power and presence in the universe that is infinite, eternal, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present, and so I know that it must be where I am. It is the energy that we live, it is the breath, it is the life that we walk. All of it is this one power. So knowing this, I know that tonight, as we gather, something marvelous happens, and there is an expansion, an awakening, a discovery that occurs that is absolutely remarkable. And for that, I'm truly, truly grateful. Grateful for the lesson, grateful for the journey, and grateful for each one of us here. So with gratitude and grace, filled with love, peace, and joy, I release these ideas into the law of mind. All is well, and I let that be the truth. And together we say, and so it is. Well, welcome everyone. I'm so delighted that you're here. And tonight, the talk today is called Anchored in Truth, Free in Spirit. So whether you're here for the first time or you're part of this growing spiritual family, I'm just glad you're here. And each time we come together, we create a sacred space together. And this is where new ideas can land, where the heart can soften, and when spirit can remind us of what is eternally true. So the idea of anchored in truth and free in spirit, because truly one of the great paradoxes is the more grounded we become in truth, the more freedom we experience in life. Not less freedom, more. I think when I was younger, I used to think, oh no, I couldn't be spiritual because then, I couldn't have a glass of wine, and I couldn't go for a dance, and I couldn't get a divorce, and well, none of those things apply here. None of those things apply here. So here it's all about discovering your true identity, figuring out who you are, and then living your life on purpose. So I want to talk a little bit about the illusion of instability. So if you look around the world right now, it can feel as though everything is shifting, like everything's not working very well. Opinions shift, economies shift, relationships shift. Even our own emotions will shift from one hour to the next. So if our sense of stability comes from those outer conditions, then life can feel like standing on moving sand, right? We look around the world, we see what's happening in Iran, and I don't know if you noticed the gas prices today, but there's a reflection there. So everything is changing, and so it feels very unstable. But spiritual teaching has always reminded us of something deeper. There is a place within us that does not move, a center that is not shaken by experience, a truth that exists before any problem appears. And when we learn to anchor ourselves there, something remarkable happens. We become steady, not rigid, not stubborn, steady. So I was going to talk about a tree for a minute, because trees are really good at this. I once heard a forester explain why some trees will survive powerful storms while others fall. And it isn't always the tallest tree that survives, and it isn't always the one that looks the strongest. The determining factor is usually the root system. Trees with shallow roots may look impressive on the surface, but when the wind comes, they cannot hold themselves in place. But trees with deep roots, sometimes roots that reach out twice as wide as the branches above, can bend in the storm without breaking. The wind moves them, but it does not uproot them. And this is a perfect metaphor for spiritual life. There's always going to be moments. There's always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be, a little bit of, garbage mixed in with the good. There's always going to be something. Change, uncertainty, unexpected news, moments when we don't know what's coming next. Well, the truth is, we never know what's coming next, right? We don't know what tomorrow brings. And the fascinating thing about tomorrow is when I get there, it'll be today. So what is this thing tomorrow? It's a non-event, a non-thing, truly. But if our consciousness is deeply rooted in truth, we can sway, but we won't fall. So let's just talk a little bit about what truth is. When I speak about truth in a spiritual sense, we're not talking about opinions. We're talking about principle. And truth is the understanding that life is intelligent, love is the deepest force in the universe, the divine is present at the center of everything, every being, every little thing is part of the divine, and there is a creative power responding to our consciousness. So truth is not something we invent, truth is something we remember. It is the quiet knowing within us that whispers, you're not alone. You are not powerless. And you are not separate from the source of life. And when we anchor ourselves there, something shifts inside us. And that shift really changes things, doesn't it? Because we feel more solid and things can happen around us. We just don't react the same way. We see what's going on and yeah, it's what's going on. What's going on in our world is going on. I can't stop it, change it, or alter it. The only thing I can do is work within myself. And the same is true for you. That as we begin to awaken within ourselves and deepen our roots to that infinite potential, when we deepen that, what happens is we become a force for good in the world. And that then changes everything. Because as a force for good in the world, we are not looking out here, making judgments, criticisms, or fighting. What we're doing is we're going in here and asking ourselves, what is mine to do? What is mine to do? Now, it's easy to react, just off the cuff to go, oh, there's a war going on and oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And we can get all worried and anxious and afraid. Or we can go, yes, that's what's going on. And then we take time in our meditation, in our treatment work to really clear our consciousness so that we begin to live in a way that is loving, peaceful, joyous, that we begin to look at all outside circumstances an opportunity for us to remember who we are. That we are, in fact, created in the image and likeness of the Creator, which then translates to, I am powerful, I'm intelligent, I'm creative. I am one with all that is. And it is in that oneness. So if I change my mind, if I alter my perspective, then what happens is I begin to view the world differently. And as I view it differently, it will begin to shift. Now, we'll start with, my small corner of the world. And if you're doing it, then it would be your small corner of the world. But if enough of us do it, then all those corners put together create something quite remarkable. You see, life is happening regardless of what we think, say, or do. But our thinking impacts it. So when I think things are really terrible, I start to feel that way. Have you noticed that? If you wake up in the morning and you're singing and you're dancing and all is well and you stub your toe, like immediately you can drop into a place of, oh, what a terrible day. This just sucks. Now what? And from there it can steamroll its way down into a much bigger challenge. There's a story about a sailboat If you think of a sailboat for a moment, like the boat may be beautifully built and the sails may be perfectly designed, but the boat doesn't move until the sail opens to the wind, right? The wind is always there, possibility is always there, but movement happens only when the sail is raised. Spiritual practice is like raising the sail. When we pray or treat, meditate, reflect, or choose a higher thought, we are lifting the sail of consciousness. And the wind of spirit begins to move our lives in ways we never could have forced. And that is what's meant by anchored in truth, but free in spirit. The anchor keeps us grounded, the sail keeps us moving. Both are required. Both are required. So, as we're looking at the world today, and I know I've said this before, I mean, I don't watch the news. And that is a habit of mine that, not everybody can manage. But I don't watch it because if I watch it all the time, I'm going to get caught up in the drama of it. I'm going to start to go down that rabbit hole of, oh no. Well, I might, right? Because it can be really depressing. When I was at the doctor's this afternoon and CP24 was on, and there was a newscast about an NDP official who switched sides to the Liberals. And I thought, well, that's fascinating. And so my doctor came home, and then my husband explained all that to me, what was going on, that a number of conservatives have crossed the aisle, that this NDP has crossed the aisle. And it's like, wow, that's interesting stuff. So I always hear what's going on. It's not like my head is in the sand. I do know what's going on, but I also know that it doesn't win if I harm somebody else in the process of me winning. So if I'm, really upset with somebody and I'm really angry and I'm, wishing them harm, or I'm dropping bombs on a country because I can, that energy is the energy within me that is creating the surroundings around me. If I relax a little bit and go, okay, let me go into meditation, let me get a different vantage point, let me look at this with a new set of eyes, those internal eyes that speak more truth, because love, is kind of the answer in my mind. So when we're working from a place of love, we're kind of letting things roll off us. Something happens and it can be upsetting, and we go, well, it's just not worth my energy. It's not worth me ruining my day because you said something to me, or whatever. I'd rather just let that go or find a way to resolve it. So I'm just going to share with you a short little story. Years ago, someone I knew lost something that felt incredibly important to them, a job that they depended on for years, and their first reaction was fear. What now? But after the initial shock passed, they made a decision. Instead of letting fear take the lead, they returned to a deeper spiritual understanding, and they reminded themselves life did not stop being creative, opportunity did not disappear, and the intelligence of the universe had not simply run out of ideas. Within weeks, something unexpected unfolded. A new opportunity appeared, one that not only supported them financially, but brought them far more joy than the previous job ever had. And looking back, they realized something profound. The outer situation changed, but what truly shifted was their inner anchor. They chose to stand in truth rather than fear, and life responded. So, I think about lots of different examples of this. I mean, I think of even coming to Toronto, and I knew it was time for me to come. There was no question it was time for me to come. And so I came. I had $40 in my pocket, suitcase of summer clothes, I had 2 of those, my laptop, and a dream. And I had somebody's couch to sleep on in Toronto when I got here. The journey here was a deeply spiritual journey. It was one that had to happen. And when I got that very loud call that now is the time, then I answered it. When we listen to that inner voice, we open ourselves up to a greater sense of freedom and peace and joy than we ever could in any other way, because we cannot manipulate the universe. We can pretend, we can put on airs, we can do all kinds of things, but you cannot fool the universe. It is what it is. And it is solid, it's never changing. It is the one thing that doesn't change. Everything in this dimension changes constantly. So tonight, I invite you to reflect on something gently. You need to be gentle and loving with yourself. Where are your roots growing? So are they growing into fear, into uncertainty, into the opinions of the world? Or are they growing into spiritual understanding? Because wherever our roots grow, that is what will hold us when the wind comes. And the beautiful thing is this: roots can always grow deeper. Every treatment will deepen them, but every moment of stillness deepens them. Every time we choose love over fear, they grow stronger. So it's time for us to really, really think about what it is we're doing and how we're doing it, and are we ready to live in a new way? So before I end this, I'm going to do a meditation as well. Just want you to know that you do not need to control the winds of life. Just deepen your roots. And when your roots are grounded in truth, no storm can take you away from your center. And when you know your center, you are free. Free to grow, free to trust, free to reach upward into the life that is calling you forward. Anchored in truth, free in spirit. Sounds good, right? All right, let's do a meditation. So I want you to just close your eyes if you're comfortable, get your feet on the floor if that's how you like to sit in meditation. Allow your eyes to close if you're comfortable with that. And just take a slow, easy breath in. And release it softly. One more time, slow, easy breath in. And release it softly. And one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Allow your body to relax. Release the tension in your shoulders. Let the jaw soften. And allow your breath to find its natural rhythm. There's nowhere you need to go right now. There's nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to figure out. There's just this moment, just this breath. Now imagine for a moment that you are standing in a quiet forest. The air is calm. The earth beneath your feet feels steady and supportive. In front of you stands a beautiful tree. It's strong and tall. Its branches reach gradually upward toward the sky. And yet what makes this tree strong is not only what you see above the ground. What makes it strong are the roots below the surface. Deep beneath the soil, the roots stretch outward and downward. drawing nourishment from the earth, holding the tree steady. Even when the winds come, even when storms pass through, the tree may sway, but its roots hold firm. Now gently bring this image closer. Imagine that you are this tree. Your body relaxed and grounded, your breath steady. And beneath you, unseen but powerful, are your spiritual roots. Roots of wisdom, roots of faith, roots of understanding, roots that remind you life is supporting you. Spirit is present within you. The intelligence of the universe flows through you right now. With every breath, allow those roots to grow a little deeper. Deeper into peace, deeper into trust, deeper into the quiet knowing that you are held by something greater than circumstance. Now imagine a soft breeze moving through the forest. The branches move gently, but the roots remain strong. And you realize something beautiful. Life may move around you, but the truth within you remains steady. Nothing can take away your connection to Spirit. Nothing can separate you from the life that lives through you. In this moment, simply rest in that awareness. Anchored in truth. Calm, grounded, supported, free. Now quietly affirm within yourself, there is a presence of wisdom within me. There is a presence of wisdom within me. There is a power of love guiding my life. There is a power of love guiding my life. I am rooted in truth. I am rooted in truth. I am steady in spirit. I am steady in spirit. And because I am grounded in truth, I am free. And because I am grounded in truth, I am free. Free to grow, free to trust, free to live fully. Take a gentle breath in, slowly release it, allowing that sense of peace to settle into your awareness. And when you feel ready, gently bring your awareness back to this moment, back to this gathering, carrying with you the quiet strength of being, anchored in truth, free in spirit. And so it is.
Well, at this time, we move into the part of our gathering where we practice another spiritual principle, circulation. Giving is one of the ways we acknowledge that life is always moving, always flowing. Just as a tree draws nourishment from the soil and then offers shade and oxygen back to the world, we participate in the flow of giving and receiving. Your contribution supports the work of the Universal Joy Center, our gatherings, our programs, our community outreach, and the creation of spaces where people can reconnect with their own inner wisdom. If you feel moved to participate in this flow tonight, we receive your gift with gratitude. And more importantly, we affirm the spirit of generosity returns to you, multiplied in ways, both seen and unseen. Let us take a moment now to bless this offering. Please repeat after me. Divine life,
Divine life,
the source of all abundance. We recognize that all good flows from the infinite generosity of spirit. We bless these gifts given today. May they be used wisely, lovely, and creatively to support awakening, healing, and connection. And may each giver feel the joy of knowing that in giving, they participate in the endless circulation of good. And so it is. And the ways you can give are, you can send an e-transfer to admin@ujoyc.ca, or you can go to our website at ujoyc.ca and click donate. I believe it's in the upper right corner. Or you can mail a check to U1C2. And there's a new class starting soon called Prosperity Within. It's an 8-week class, and it begins March 17th. We actually have many opportunities for you to join us. All classes, events, and general information can be found on our website at ujoyc.ca. Plus, the link to our Wednesday gatherings is right there on the homepage. Nice and easy. For those of you watching through Facebook or YouTube, please join us for questions and ahas on Zoom. You'll find the link in the chat. And now Barbara will give us a closing treatment.
All right. Well, we have been blessed. So let us join together in consciousness as we come to the close of this service and get into our community gathering. Join with me. There's one power, one presence, one infinite creative intelligence, one divine energy of love and light, fully present, fully active, fully available within each and every one of us. As I relax into that, I'm filled with a deep sense of gratitude for the love that is shared, for the generosity shared, for the beauty of this moment, and for the remarkable people who have participated in all that we think, say, and do. Today is really a new beginning, an opportunity to begin to live in a new way, awakened, expansive, curious, intelligent, wise. We can show up in any way we choose with confidence and with grace. Or we can play small and be fearful. But there's a great power in knowing who we truly are. There is a power for good within each one of us that is beyond anything that we can see, touch, or feel in this universe. So I move my attention there. I live from that place. And in so doing, I am anchored in truth, free in spirit. And with a grateful and loving heart, I know that all is well. So I take these ideas, I release it to the law of mind. It is done. It is returned to me, multiplied and overflowing. And with gratitude, I let it be. And together we say, and so it is.